So let's head over to our chart of WTI's crude oil, right? And this is the chart we are currently following, which is on screen. So in this chart, the last time when we discussed, the discussion was that I will just pick it up from the last point of reference. So this is our last point of reference. And again, guys, I see some comments here and there asking that why I don't discuss long-term time frame analysis or long-term counts in Elliott Wave. So I do discuss them from time to time, but these webinars are called trading opportunities. They are not called long-term counts or Elliott Wave counts or anything like that. So we use the analysis as less as possible, and we want to discuss the trade setups in much more detail as much as possible. So keep that in mind. It's not a Elliott Wave forecasting or counting service. Of course, I have the counts and I do discuss them from time to time. So if you want them, the long-term counts, follow me in every specific webinar and even watch the past 2-3 ones. From time to time, I will cover one chart in the longer time frame or another chart in the longer time frame. But in every webinar, it's not possible. It will take me 3-4 hours maybe if I start doing that, and nobody wants that. They are quite long as it is. So we have a wave Y here. You can see over here. So I'm just replicating it. A wave Y here, and then we have a X wave, which is either complete or continuing. Both possibilities exist. And then it should be followed by the Z here. So that's the main count we are following. Okay. So again, you don't need to focus too much on what the hell I'm talking about here. The main pattern what we are tracking over here is, which starts from this point of reference. So the main pattern which we are tracking is this. Let's call it single bracket A, single bracket B, and the single bracket C. So this is our important pattern. Now, what is this single bracket A, B, and C? So this is an Elliott wave terminologies or in Elliott wave principles, a flat kind of pattern, and in specific, it looks like a running flat kind of pattern. And what a running flat is basically that if this is your point of reference, which is the starting point of your analysis, then 3 waves up are called an A. 3 waves which go lower than the start of this wave A will be called the B, and then a small move up will be called the C. So you can see the wave A is over here, and this B wave has gone lower than the start of A. So that's the principle coming into play. And the C wave will end up a little bit up, but it will not go near the end of A. So it will not go near this level. Right? That's generally what you call a running flat. So anyways, we are not really interested in naming what this pattern is called. I just talked about it because I saw it. What really we are interested in is the trade setup. So currently, as I said, there are two possibilities which exist. Either this X is complete here. So if this X is complete, that is this C is finished here, then it should see a downward leg. Then it should see a downward leg. So that is simple enough. If the pattern is finished, if the account we have on screen is complete, then we should see a straight out fall. Now, the second thing is that if it's not complete, then what is happening? If it's not complete, then what is happening is that this C wave is continuing in the upward direction. So yeah, this C wave can go up and it can go even above the wave A high, then it will be called an expanded flat, which can happen, right? Actually, on crude oil, it does happen from time to time, but the probability of happening of expanded flats are comparatively less on CL1 futures. I know that because I've been trading this chart for since the very beginning, since I started trading the first time. Not the first day, but since the first 1 or 2 months when I started trading, I followed crude oil. So I know this chart has a tendency to do these mind-boggling patterns sometimes. So that's why I will not rule it out. So what can we do with that? With that information in mind, we have one clear trade setup. If this market goes higher than 77.774, right, that is higher than this high, then this would suggest that C is not here, and this would suggest that C is continuing. And this will suggest that this market has two waves in the upward direction. If something has two legs in the upward direction, then that means at least one can be traded, right? So that will give us basically a very high probability long setup in my understanding of this market. So that makes our hypothesis one, long above 77.99. Now keep that in mind that the chart we have on screen is the data feed of O and A CFD broker. Each broker will have a little bit of difference in price, and the current CL1 futures contract, which is currently running live on screen, has the price of 75.56. So you can already see there's a slight difference in the actual futures chart and the CFD chart. So just keep that in mind and don't take these levels literally. Just check them on your own chart, whichever broker you have. So that's our first hypothesis. And the second one we already discussed, suggesting straight downward movement. We currently don't have confirmation, as I said, so just keep that in the back of your mind and alert on screen like I have. That's our take on crude oil. Very clear structure. Definitely something you got to keep in your watch list, as I believe it might give us a very good trade very soon. Just wait for a few more seconds in the comment section, guys. If you have any doubts, you can just type them in. Next chart will be gold. Also, guys, a little bit more interaction would be nice. That also helps us bring the videos higher in the YouTube algorithm. So thank you, Darwals, on TradingView for the confirmation. If you guys here on YouTube are clear on what we discussed, please type in "I understood clear" and please be more interactive in these webinars.